When you only have a couple water gallons to train with and your diet is so bad, even calling it suboptimal is a compliment, you need to make sure that everything you are doing is on point. Like you don't have any more room for error. That's what I always keep in mind when it comes to my training and fitness journey here in Gaza. So today I'm going to be getting some advice and tips from someone that knows a lot more than me, to say the least. Yes, I'm going to be talking to none other than Nippard. I'm going to be asking him a few questions on how I can optimize my training and nutrition and how I can make the most out of what I have available considering the situation we're going through. And yeah, without further ado, I'll leave you guys with the video. All right, so great to have you here today. Thank you for making the time for this call.
It's great to be here, bro.
Yeah, so today I'm going to be talking to you about, how someone like me in such cruel nutrition, basically nutrition, like mostly nutrition, but, in general, like cruel circumstances, cruel conditions, can work their way around the obstacles that they have to still kind of maintain gains or at least maybe like make gains, in the best scenarios. So yeah, I want to get straight into it. And I want to ask you, when it comes to poor nutrition training, would you rather go for high volume or high intensity? Because, high intensity training would, allow you to get the workout done much quicker since you're going to be doing less sets and less exercises. But, higher volume training is going to be less exhausting. And in this situation, you're looking for both, right?
Yeah, so I'm cutting right now, and I'm fully on the low volume, high intensity wave. So I think based on the best research we have, it's pretty clear that you can maintain muscle on a lot less volume than it takes to build muscle from scratch.
Yeah.
And so my preference when I'm on low calories is to do like quick and efficient workouts and just basically send everything to failure. Like that's what I'm doing right now. So that would be my preference. And like when you have limited calories, like you just don't have the same energy, right? Like you may not be able to do like the 2-hour marathon workouts, but like you could get in an intense 30 to 45 minute workout and get the job done. And I honestly, man, in your situation, that's what I would say is the way to go. What do you think of that?
When I first started training, I used to do a lot of volume. I was having some intensity in there, but like I was doing more volume than I needed. And I remember like for the first, I would say like 6 months of my journey, I would say I did make good progress, but it wasn't the best, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like it was not the best progress that I could have made for these 6 months. Like I remember I made like a before and after transformation for like the first 100 days in my journey. And okay, I mean, it was pretty impressive. Like a lot of people told me, "Oh, you made great progress and stuff." But I would say like most of that is because of my situation. But looking at it from a training quality perspective, I would say I was missing a lot in it. So I 100% agree with the high intensity, low volume thing.
Yeah, I mean, like the science-based community is interesting because, like, things I feel like come in and out of fashion based on new research, which is probably not the best thing, right? Like, you really shouldn't change your opinion based on every new study that comes out. But for a while there, I think most people would have said like volume is king. Like, you really need to do a lot of sets to maximize muscle growth, and I still think that's true to some extent. Like, if you have a lot of calories and you're trying to optimize everything. Yeah, it does seem like more volume does lead to more muscle growth. But with that said, if you don't have intensity on the muscle, if you're not pushing the muscle hard, it really has no reason, I think, to stick around. Like the intensity has to be there regardless, right? So yeah, to answer your question, in your case, I'm going low volume, like 1 or 2 sets per exercise, push those sets hard, get in and out, and then get on with the rest of your day.
Yeah, that's what I've been applying to my training recently. Like I would say I do 1 or 2 exercises, like max, but compound exercises, like obviously, because I'm not going to be wasting my energy on isolation movements. 3 sets to failure, and that's it. Like my whole workout is like 15 or 20 minutes. So and I gotta say, like
I like it.
I gotta say, like the maintaining muscle part of it, it's 100% working. Like despite how much
awesome.
How much my nutrition is not on point, but I'm still like noticing not that much difference in my muscle mass.
Bro, that's awesome. And it's not just muscle mass too. It's strength and your health. Like all of these things can still continue to improve even if your diet is suboptimal, right?
Yeah.
So like that, yeah. I mean, the fact that you're maintaining your muscle mass is incredible. Like that's
Yeah.
great.
Thank you. I mean, coming from you means a lot. Um, so now, when it comes to intensity, another thing that I'm looking at is rep ranges. So like when it comes to rep range, we know like how different rep ranges prioritize different stuff when it comes to strength, hypertrophy, and endurance. So
Yeah.
let's say that I'm pushing a set, like a working set, to failure. How many reps do you think I should be doing to failure to kind of make up for the lack of nutrition that I have?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So like what kind of exercises are you doing right now? Like are you able to train heavy or is it just body weight stuff?
It's body weight, but weighted stuff. Sometimes I do actually train
Yeah.
with weights, but those weights are
Yeah, okay.
mostly like like water gallons and stuff. So they are weights that I can't
Yeah.
really modify, like accurately.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm picking out a few plates or something and doing exercise with them.
Yeah.
But they are in general like weights that I know for a fact I'm able to do 6 to 10 exercise reps with it.
That's cool, man. Okay, cuz for a while there I saw on Instagram you were training at a gym, right?
Yeah.
But you're not there anymore, right? So now
The
you're
gym was
doing
bombed
like
actually,
the water jugs.
unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah, it
Bro,
was.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
You know,
That's wild.
thank God for everything.
Yes. But you're still making it work with the
Yeah,
water jugs,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so like really what matters when it comes to rep ranges is are you pushing the muscle to or close to failure? The actual number doesn't matter much, right?
Oh,
So
actually.
under normal circumstances, yeah, it really doesn't, man. Like the best research we have on rep ranges shows that anything from 3 up to around 50 reps, that's 50,
50?
not 15, causes roughly equal muscle growth. Yeah, as long as you're pushing the muscle close to failure. The reason for that is if you do a heavy set of 3 reps, you're going to activate the highest threshold muscle fibers immediately. The weight is so heavy. So like the smaller lower threshold muscle fibers, like they're not able to move that weight. And so you turn on the high threshold ones right away, right from the beginning of the set, okay? If you do 50 reps, you're activating the smaller low threshold muscle fibers all the way up. But once you get to like rep 48 or let's say like 46, 47, 48, 49, now your muscle is still grinding just as hard as if you had a heavy weight on there. And so you still have to activate those bigger high threshold muscle fibers. As long as you're pushing to failure, your body's going to hold up, bro. I think you might have cut out. Are you still there? Are we good?
Yeah. Okay, we're back. We're back. Yeah, my internet cut off for a second. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
basically I was just saying like with the rep ranges, you can go from 3 reps up to 50 reps and see roughly equivalent muscle growth as long as you're pushing to or close to failure. And the reason for that is if you're doing heavy weight, your high threshold muscle fibers will turn on right away. Like those are the biggest muscle fibers that only activate when you have a heavy load or if you're close to failure. Okay. But
Yeah.
if you're doing a really, really light weight, your body has no reason to turn on those high threshold muscle fibers, right? It'll just use the smaller, lower threshold ones. But once you get to like rep 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, those big high threshold muscle fibers have to activate because you like when you get to the end of a set of 50 reps, it's grindy. And that's how you grow the muscle. So like the rep range doesn't really matter as far as hypertrophy is concerned. Now, under more optimal circumstances, I would say doing sets of like 50 reps is just needlessly exhausting. Like if you don't need to do that many reps, why are
Yeah.
you going to
Exactly.
torture yourself with that? Like a set of 50 reps to failure is brutal. I would much rather people do sets of like, honestly, man, like 6 to 8, maybe 6 to 10 for the most part. Like almost all of my training
Yeah, that's what I do.
is 6 to 10 reps right now. So but the thing is if you're doing like body weight stuff, those 6 to 10 reps should be challenging. Like don't just stop at 10 reps because you hit 10 reps. Like if you got more, then keep going.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what your like loading ability is right now, I guess.
This changes a lot of my perspective to it
Mhm.
because when it comes to like thinking about it as going to failure being the main task here or
Yeah.
like the main goal.
Yeah.
Like no matter how light I'm pushing, like I am using of weight, I'm not gonna get to 50 reps, right?
Yep.
So maybe like I would say I would get to like 15 or 20 reps. That's when I'm going like extremely light.
Yep.
So thinking that 3 to 50
Hmm.
reps is like equal when it comes to hypertrophy, as
It
long as
is.
you are pushing to failure,
Yep.
that's a game
Yeah.
changer for me. I mean,
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah.
telling me about that.
Yeah, man. So if you went back like 20 years ago and looked at the textbooks, they would say, okay, your 1 to 5 reps is your strength, your 6 to 12 is your hypertrophy, and then your
Yeah,
12
that's what
to
I knew about it.
12 to 50 is your endurance or whatever. Now, that is true for strength. Like to get stronger, at least optimally, you do need to lift heavy weight. Like you're not going to get
Yeah,
strong with light weights. It just doesn't happen. Um, unless you're like a complete beginner or something. Um, but yeah, but with hypertrophy, it's way, way, way more flexible. You can hit any number of reps as long as you're taking the muscle close to failure. It's going to recruit all available resources and it's going to grow. There is one slight
yeah, and
exception, and I
that's
need I need to say it just for the sake of completeness. The one exception would be when you go below around like 30% of your 1 rep max. So if you're doing sets of like 100 reps, that does seem to be worse. Like or once you get above 50, it's suboptimal.
yeah, exactly, yeah, and that's why you set the range for 3 to 50. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
where you need to be to
yeah.
at least ensure that there is some kind of hypertrophy to it.
That's right.
Um, so yeah, that makes sense a lot. So yeah, I guess all sets to failure now, no matter the reps.
Bro, just send it,
Uh,
man. Why not?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I already do, but I was
Yeah,
kind of confused about it.
good.
Right now, I have like a mostly carb diet,
Hmm.
right? So yeah, when it comes to like protein, I would say like I have lentils and white beans, and that's it.
Hmm.
Anything other than that is like pasta, white rice, white bread, or any of that stuff.
Hmm.
So now, keeping these foods in mind,
Yeah.
I have 2 meals a day. All right. I try to time my workout around the first one. So
Okay.
where would you say is a good timing around the first meal that would ensure me like to make the most out of my workout?
Yeah. So let
So
me make sure I got
before
this
the
right.
workout, after the workout, something.
Yeah. Okay. So you have 2 meals a day, and you're basically wondering like where should you put your workout? Is
Yeah.
that what you're asking? Yeah. So I mean, I think the timing aspect doesn't matter nearly as much as people think. Like total calories and total protein is the most important when it comes to nutrition. And the good news is training is more important than nutrition. Like if I had to
Oh,
if I had to break it down as far as muscle goes, training is probably like 80%. Like as long as you're hitting some kind of bare minimum for nutrition, like training is going to override any kind of nutritional optimization. So that's good.
okay.
Yeah. And then as far as nutrition goes, the most important things are total calories and total protein intake. Timing is like quite a ways down in terms of importance. All right. So it doesn't super matter.
Yeah.
With that said, given that training is the most important thing, I would say to time your nutrition in a way that allows you to train the best. So, what is going to give you the best energy and what's going to give you the best strength? Okay. Now, for most people, that's probably eating a meal about an hour to 2 hours before training because you won't be hungry going into the workout
Yeah.
and you'll have some carbs that can fuel that workout, right? Um, with that said, lately I've been experimenting with fasted training. So I've been doing my workouts on an empty stomach
Oh,
and I've been doing it now for a few weeks and it's honestly great. Like my energy and strength is way better than I expected it to be. And so
actually.
if you want to try it, if you haven't tried it, try fasted training. The research shows like it doesn't like burn your muscle up or anything like that. And some people just find that they have better workouts if they're training fasted. And then you get your post workout meal in, and then you have like another meal in the evening or before you go to bed or whenever it is. Um, but I would say it really that mostly comes down to personal preference. Because, like I said, the total calories and the total protein is by far the most important thing. When it comes to timing, it's mainly a matter of like convenience and then what's going to allow you to get the best workouts in.
Oh yeah, and actually for the fasted training, that is what I was mostly like convinced with.
Yeah.
So I would have like my first meal after my workout. So
Okay.
like that's when I believe I was actually looking at it from a muscle protein synthesis
Yeah.
like point of view. So like how it spikes after a workout and then it slowly fades away.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put my first meal like in that I would say like workout window or like duration. so
Yep.
that I would make the most out, like I would make the most out of it. But
To,
since like you're saying it's not as important as it is, I can like be more flexible with it
hon-
now.
honestly, like on paper, I think I would probably agree with you. The thing
Oh,
is, like in the sense that like yeah, like if you can train fasted and have good energy, you only have two meals. I would have your post-workout meal and then I have another meal before bed. That's what I would do. Um, but with that said, you know, it depends on your food choices and this kind of thing, which maybe we'll get into. But like generally speaking, if you're only training for like a half an hour, if you had your pre-workout meal an hour before that, like it's still digesting into the post-workout period. So like when you
yeah,
consider that, there's some overlap of the nutrient timing, right? Like if you were training for like 3 hours and you had your pre-workout meal like 3 hours before that, then we'd be like, okay, there's like a distinct window here. Like there's a difference between the
yeah.
pre-workout meal and the post-workout meal. But like in your case, I think like as long as you're eating at some point around the workout, it's probably not going to make a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, it's that I can be more flexible about it now,
Yeah,
and not stress about it as much. It's
absolutely.
like, yeah, like I would find that the time is like 12 p.m. and I want to work out, but oh no, like my first meal is gonna be like 3 hours later. So it's not gonna be as big of a deal now
Yeah.
that I know about all of that.
Awesome, man.
Um, so now, since I want to go back to the total carbs and total protein
Yep.
part, I mean, total calories and total protein.
Hmm.
So now everyone knows about the zero point 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight.
Yep.
Where you need to be when you're trying to, let's say, maximize your muscle growth.
Yeah.
So, I would say like it's not really realistic for me to look at these numbers. So what I want to ask is, when is it considered like too low? When is it considered like not enough? If I'm eating like below that.
So the RDA for protein is 50 grams per day. So like if you're eating less than 50 grams of protein per day, you're probably going to see some muscle protein breakdown. So where
Oh,
where
okay.
where do you think you're at right now?
I don't know if I should tell you, man. Like,
It is
I
what
would
it
say
is.
like
I'm
maybe 25 to 30 or something.
25. Okay. So I mean like that's that's low, but
It
if
is,
that's
yeah.
the most you can get, that's good. I mean, at least it's not zero, right? Like it can at least cover your like basic nutritional needs. You know what I mean? Like or
Yeah.
at least to a greater extent than zero, right? Um, but yeah, 50 grams a day is around where you'd want to be for like bare minimum maintenance. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
with that said, the total calories has an impact here too. So
Yeah.
if you're in a caloric deficit and also below 50 grams of protein a day, it's going to be harder. But there's always that silver lining. If you're training,
Yeah. There's always a but.
if you're training, then that goes a long way because now all of the energy that you have from food is going to be directed toward that muscle, right? Because the stimulus is there. So like it's not like,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm under 50 grams a day panic mode. It's just like, okay, like I said to you earlier, like the training is the most important thing, man. And you know what? You told me like at the beginning that like you think you're maintaining your muscle, and I've seen on Instagram like it looks
Yeah.
like it looks like you're doing awesome. So like
Yeah.
these sorts of things take time, right? Like there's like if you eat 25 grams of protein a day for a few weeks, that's different than 25 grams of protein a day for 2 years. So let me just circle back and like lay out. So like I would say for maintenance of protein balance, a bare minimum would be 50 grams a day. I think just using like absolute figures, like 100 grams a day, I think you would gain muscle on for sure. Obviously, this depends to some extent on your body weight. So let's say like, 80 to 100 grams, you'd be gaining, but not optimally. And then I think for most people, honestly, like over 120 to 130 grams of protein a day, like you're pretty close to optimal just because going high with protein has such a small impact relative to training anyway. But yeah, I mean, like in the research, the optimal figure would be zero point 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So in kilos, that would be 1.6 to 2.2 grams per
Yeah.
kilo.
Yeah.
But
1.6 to
like,
2.2. Yeah. That would be it.
given your circumstance right now, like that's not a reasonable target nor should it be something that you're worried about because you are kind of looking at
Yeah.
diminishing returns anyway. Like I said to you, I think at this point, the main thing you should focus on is like being consistent with your training, which you've been doing. And then honestly, like just getting as many calories in as you can, because if you can eat at maintenance calories or at least close to it, then the lower protein is going to have less of a negative effect.
Yeah, and that's why actually I've been, not so sad about the fact that most of my training is, well, most of my diet is, carb. Like I think of it as carbs, taking care of everything that's happening in my body other than muscle growth.
Yeah.
And these like 25 to 30 grams of protein that I'm having are the ones that go to, the muscle
Yeah.
that I'm training or, like what I trained for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And I bet it's,
So
I mean, given that you're on limited calories too, like carbohydrates just are a better energy source than protein. So like the upside is they're going to fuel your workouts incredibly well and will
yeah.
probably be better for like, your mental health and so on. Like being on low carbs in addition to low calories is rough. So, the fact that you've got like the fact that you have carbs is not necessarily a bad thing. Um, so
Oh yeah, exactly.
for out of my own curiosity, like what does meal 1 and 2 look like?
Okay, so for meal one, I believe like we have like 4 or 5 options. So like
Mhm,
I told you, lentils and white beans, these are two.
mhm.
Other than that, we have pasta.
Okay.
That's another one. Um, Sometimes we would have some kind of salad full with vegetables and stuff. So like whenever vegetables are available, because like farming is one of the very few solutions to the famine that we're going through. So we would have like some kind of vegetables, and the last option would be something with white bread. I don't know what exactly, but something. That's it.
So out of those, I would go as hard on the lentils as you can. Lentils are a really good source of protein. And they're pretty high calorie too. So like, yeah, just if you have the
Yeah, I
option,
mean,
if you have the option to like forego, some I forget some of the like pasta or whatever, be like double up on the lentils.
I mean, I used to do that when, the situation was a bit better, but right now, like, it's just, eating whatever you have available. So, like, when we have some kind of pasta, I would try to, like, sneak in a little bit of lentils, but in general, like, it's what you have available. I mean, if I get, like, to find, like, more lentils, we would cook more of them.
Awesome.
so shout out to the lentils for that.
Hell yeah.
Um, this is like a thought that I've been having. Is I would like to stop training now. Now, like I'm just like assuming that, like I'm just imagining that. So I would like stop training right now since my nutrition isn't at its best.
Hmm.
And once this is all over, I mean, hopefully soon, I would start training again with better nutrition so that I would have like a kind of a detrainee phase. And we know like in detrainee phases, like you see, accelerated progress just as like a newbie in the gym. So that's the
So
thought that I've been having. Well,
okay,
what do you think about it?
no, that's a really really smart thought. There was an article that came out around 10 years ago called "How to Grow Like a New Lifter Again" by Greg Knuckles. Is there any chance
Yeah.
you've seen it or read it? Maybe.
Not really, but I heard you like
Okay.
generally mention the topic of detrainees
Yeah.
having the same
Yeah.
effect as new
Yeah.
lifters.
Because this is like a very like theoretical thing. It's like, oh, if I take like a couple weeks break and then come back, muscle memory is real. Will it kind of like slingshot my gains, right? And I'll make better gains than if I had just
Yeah.
trained during that period. Some people would say yes. For me, it's a little too theoretical. Like there's no really like good science on this in terms of like the slingshot effect that you're hoping to get. Here's what I would do.
Yeah.
I would not stop training if I were you. And that's because like
Yeah.
it's gonna have so many benefits even beyond just like the gains. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's really good for your mental health. It's gonna be good for
Yep.
your energy levels throughout the day. It's gonna help keep your like joints and tendons stronger. It's gonna keep your strength up. And like while it sounds theoretically smart on paper, I think that like if you just kept the muscle that you have, and then once you get calories and protein again, whether you detrained yourself intentionally or not, your muscles are going to be like a sponge. They're going to soak all that up, and you're going to make crazy gains regardless. Okay, just simply as a function of increasing your calories. So I don't think I would do that one. If I was coaching you, I would say keep doing what you're doing with the training. Don't stop training even though you have a suboptimal diet. Just be careful not to do too much. But based on what we've talked about, it seems like you're doing the perfect amount.
Oh, all right. I
That's a
mean,
really good question, though.
uh,
Like that's a really interesting topic. That's really good. I'd like to do a study on that. I'd like to do a study on that because muscle memory is real, and you do grow faster after a training break. But you're growing faster to build back any muscle that you lost, right? It's not necessarily
yeah,
that like it's
yeah,
going to slingshot you above the gains you would have made. But we need the study. So I don't know. That's a good idea.
yeah. I was hoping like with this question, I'm gonna go viral on social media and like Jim Rat in Gaza surprises Jeff
You
Nippard with
know
how
what?
smart he is.
You know what,
Uh,
bro? If I had just tweaked my answer and been like, that will work. Like you're gonna get super yoked, bro. You just need the 2 week break, like guaranteed virality. But I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real. I think you should keep training.
yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
see like looking at it from like a science-based perspective. The study that you mentioned is kind of convincing and kind of tempting to actually like use this as like a hack to keep boosting up your progress every few months.
Yeah, so
But
I
yeah,
think
like with no solid base to it, like I would say doing what I'm doing is kind of better. Yeah, like with
I
what
think
you're
it's better,
saying.
bro. I think it's way better. And like detraining is like not really like good for you. I just don't think it would be worth it. Like, is it really worth losing the strength? Is it really worth not having that time in your day when you can like focus and push yourself? I don't think it would. I personally don't. I personally wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I would say like the mental side of it, just like you said, is actually like a huge part to it because it's some people like call it a coping mechanism, but for me it's just a daily routine that I've been used to for like 3 or 4 years now. So
Who calls it
why
a
would I
coping
give that
mechanism?
up for like a few months and then go back to it again?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, now like I have my last question. So this is for the future. Like this is not about my current situation. But once this is all over, I mean, I hope soon, like it would be over, and I would be back to training in the gym, with some decent equipment. I would have like 4 or 5 meals a day. I would hit my daily calories and protein and all of that. What would you say is a good approach that I can take? Like, should I straight up start a bulk, or should I reverse diet, or should I take a break with only focusing on nutrition for a while? What should I do exactly?
Yeah, I would go straight into a bulk. Like I think reverse
Yeah.
dieting is good for people who did a cut and got to a level of leanness that they really want to maintain, and that's the most important thing. But based on our conversation, like it sounds like you like gaining muscle and strength is a priority for you. And I think if you reverse
Yeah, it is.
diet, it's just going to slow that process down for no reason. Like you're already lean as long as you don't like do a like a dreamer bulk like a super dirty bulk, like you really shouldn't gain much fat. Like your body fat percentage could
Yeah.
even go down if you do a lean bulk because you'll gain muscle at a faster rate than you will fat, right? So for you, I would say to like don't like obviously get to maintenance right away, like as a bare
Yeah.
minimum maintenance calories, but I would say like go even above it. Like I would go probably in a 10, maybe 20% surplus. Um, just because like, you've been in a deficit for so long, like your body is going to soak those calories up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like I wouldn't waste time building yourself back up in terms of caloric intake. Like just start the bulk, man. It's going to be
Oh
good.
yeah. Actually, the part that you were talking about of people like cutting down to like extremely lean, levels. That's what made me think about it because right now, I would say my training helped me kind of reserve some muscle. Even though like we know huge deficits always tend to result in a muscle loss as well. So that's what I was thinking about. But
I,
hearing
I,
you like talk about like straight up going to a bulk again. That's what I was wishing you would say, and I'm happy that you actually like you said it. So
100%,
yeah, I mean
100%.
it's great to hear the answer.
The other thing about muscle loss is like I think people imagine that it will happen a lot faster than it actually does. Like muscle, like it doesn't just like happen, like even in a deficit, especially if you're training, like even just like walking, doing any activity at all tends to preserve muscle pretty well. Like when you compare it to complete bed rest plus fasting, yeah, you lose muscle. But like if you have some calories and some activity, you will maintain muscle a lot longer than you think, even if everything is really suboptimal. So like again, that's the good news, right? Like you've noticed this yourself, haven't you? Like the fact that you're training and you're
Yeah.
eating and you're like getting as many lentils in as you can has helped you maintain your muscle mass. And I bet you're surprised at how well you have maintained it given the circumstances, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
So
what
yeah,
people
like
that's what
100%.
people
Yeah.
don't realize. Like they think, "Oh no, I took like,
So,
a couple days off the gym or I didn't go as hard a couple days. Like all my gains are
yeah.
lost." It's like, "No, bro. Like you could probably not train for like honestly like several weeks to months, and as long as you're moderately active and you're eating a decent amount, then like your muscle should stick around pretty well, to be honest with you. So yeah, the muscle loss, if you're training and you're doing your best, like I don't think it's as big of a concern as people think.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially with my lifestyle in Gaza, like yeah, like in a day I would fill up like 4 water jugs. I would like drive 3 miles to connect to internet or get something. So I mean, I would say like that's not something I should worry about.
Absolutely, man. No, I see you. You're
Yeah,
you're you're crushing it, bro. It's awesome.
yeah.
It's
Thank you so
inspiring.
much,
It's
man.
inspiring to a lot of people, man, including me. I love it.
Oh man, I mean, coming from you like really means a lot. I mean, I feel accomplished now, really.
All right, man. Thank
So yeah,
you.
these are all the questions that I had. I was wondering if you have any questions, for me, like, about my lifestyle.
Yeah, so let me think here. What's your split right now?
Oh, my split right now. I use push pull legs right
Oh,
now.
do you? Okay, so you're training like
Because
5 or 6 days a week?
I do three. This is
Oh.
actually like something I wanted to mention
Hmm.
is that whenever I am, in like a bigger caloric deficit than the one that I was in like a month or like 2 months ago, the thing that I mostly play around with is frequency. Like I would reduce my frequency, give myself more days to recover,
Yeah.
as well as like the same intensity and volume thing that we talked about in the beginning. So, well, what do you think about that? Like, am I doing like
Um,
well with this step?
if you want to train 3 days a week, I would do full body instead of push pull legs because it'll just allow you to get a little
Okay.
bit extra frequency in. But if you're liking the push pull legs, then like there's no reason to not keep rolling with it. But like I guess it just really depends on like how you feel your own recovery is, right? Like if you feel like 3 days a week is the most you can do and like still feel recovered and not like, you're wearing yourself down, then that's excellent, dude. Like literally any training you're doing is like awesome. Okay. Like it's fantastic. But if we're talking about like little tweaks or whatever, like I would play around with full body 3 days a week. And
Yeah.
and give that a try because if you're doing push pull legs 3 days a week, like it's 7 days in between each workout. Like, I mean, yeah, you need more recovery for sure given the circumstances, but like if your volume isn't super high, I still don't think you need like to wait 7 days to be honest with you. Um, but you know your body better than me. Like splits are really not
Uh,
that important. Like splits are like way down on the totem pole, so I wouldn't sweat it.
yeah. I mean, this also like falls. Okay, there are like 2 points that I want to make here, like before we end the call. Is
Hmm.
that the first thing is like you mentioned about convenience.
Yeah,
It has to be enjoyable so
a
that
hundred
you
percent.
can actually stick to it like for as long as you can.
Yeah.
And the second thing is that this is going to be like a point to your study that you made about the LinkedIn partials,
Hmm.
is that training with low frequency, low volume, and high intensity, and I added to that like really really deep stretch on every exercise, every rep, every set.
Hell yeah.
That like had gotten me like the most sore I've ever
Yeah.
been since I started training.
Again here now. Um, it didn't record on my end, but hopefully you got the recording on your end.
Before it glitched out, like 10 minutes into the
Yeah.
call. Yeah, I mean, it did record on my end. Like, I'm using my
It
phone
did? Okay.
recording, not my Zoom's recording. So,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
200 IQ.
Okay.
Uh,
Hell yeah, that's
so,
right.
yeah.
Okay. What were we talking about? Your training split?
Yeah, about the stretch.
Oh, the stretch. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the
yes. How
stretch.
could I forget?
Uh, So just
So I
Nippard
actually,
doesn't.
okay, I do have one more question for you. I want you to talk about the stretch, but like, have you how deep are you into this stuff? Like, have you seen all the TikToks of people being like, the stretch is like overrated and like it doesn't work and all this kind of stuff?
100%. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen
Okay,
it.
okay. And you're still team stretch even after all.
100%, man. Like, I'm not looking at it from a studies perspective as much as I'm looking at it from like a personal experiment perspective. So maybe you've seen this in one of my Instagram clips where I was using like the water jugs and doing like deficit push-ups between them. I was
Yeah. Oh
seeing
yeah,
that.
yeah. I saw
Yeah,
that.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like recently I only do this exercise and one other exercise for the triceps. It's like a JM press, but
Mhm.
like a push-up. And this
Yeah.
exercise gets my front delts and chest like as sore as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So for me, like no matter what anyone says about the stretch, going into a deep stretch and doing lengthened partials at the end of the set is something that I see myself doing for like the rest of my life. So
Yeah,
yeah,
honestly, that's awesome, man. I mean, yeah, like you're your own research study. So like if something
yeah,
is working for you, like you said, like who cares what this person said or what that person said, like keep rolling with it. Absolutely. Now, lucky for you, despite what they say on TikTok, the research is also on our side, okay? Like
oh, let's go.
I'm not aware of a single study that showed shortened partials outperforming lengthened partials, okay? And there's like more than a dozen studies on this now. So like l- listen, like your experience matches up, my experience matches up, the science matches up. I think we're right on this one.
Yeah, I mean like the stretch cult is gonna be the winner at the end,
That's it.
like 100%. So it's
Hey,
just like you said.
you're in too deep now, man. Like once you're in the cult, you can't just leave like that.
Oh yeah, I mean like exactly like like you said about science-based training. Like people think about it like DIXA machines and seeing how much the muscle is activated and stuff. But it's just about trying out what works and do going with it. So for me, I heard about all of the studies going about the stretch. I've watched your videos and many other people's videos about the stretch, and I decided to
Yeah,
just try it for myself and see how it goes.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
worked just fine.
yeah.
Like I don't see like well, what do you mean with shortened partials, man? Are you serious? Yeah,
Exactly. No, no, those push-ups are legendary, bro. Yeah,
yeah.
you're doing me and Mike Israel proud with those, especially Mike. Mike loves his ultra deep stretch push-ups.
Oh, I mean, like you saw, like the water jugs that I use are like
Yeah.
40 or like 50 centimeters like high, and I
Oh
go
yeah.
all the way
No,
down until like my
I
chin would
know.
touch the ground. So like
I
imagine.
know. I watched it. Your mobility is insane.
Uh,
It's super impressive, dude.
Thanks, man. I mean, I've been working on it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, these are like all the points that I had for our call.
Okay.
I mean, thank you so
Good.
much for making the time for this. We've been like talking for like 45 minutes, a bit over like the time
Yeah.
limit
No.
that we had, but I wanted to like have some questions from you as well. So yeah, appreciate all the knowledge, all the information. It really means a lot. And yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, bro.